Hello, everybody, and welcome to the most must-see podcast on Wednesday nights, the Kev Buckler Show and TRC Talk. How y'all doing tonight?
Doing
Good.
great.
Good.
Doing good.
Fantastic. Great seeing everybody. We're ready to talk and have some fun. Hope several people join on with us. We have some awesome. I really love our topics tonight because I just think that we can really get down and really into some conversations. But before we get to that, Will's going to ask us a question, right, Will?
Yes, good evening. Sorry I was a little late there. I was in the middle of a great conversation with one of our followers, and man, we were talking about the original LJNs and the new Big Rubber guys, and
Oh, cool.
it was a great conversation I was having. So, and
Nice.
you always get like real involved in those conversations, and you're like, oh my God, it's 9 o'clock, so you got to run. But
But those
yeah,
conversations really matter and mean a lot. So,
they do. Yep, we were having a discussion about how WF from like 85 to 91 was really different from like 92 to 96, but then in like 96 it kind of picked up and went a different direction, and so it was a good conversation. But on to the next topic tonight, though, guys. Welcome in everybody. Glad to see everybody in here. I think we're
what's up?
missing at least one, right? Maybe two. Missing
Missing
two.
to Brian and Nick.
Brian and
Okay.
Nick.
So first question of the night, we're going to go round table. We're going to start with the guru. A sitcom, a TV show, a movie, a sporting event, something that really invoked emotions in everybody. So it doesn't have to be, something that really made you cry, but something that really invoked a powerful emotion in you. Guru, what you got?
Mm. Probably the episode on Fresh Prince of Bel Air where Will Smith's dad, like left him pretty much, and he told I was gonna say Dr. Phil, but he told his uncle Phil, that why how come he don't want me? That kind of resonated, because just made me think of some of my friends, who didn't have parents at the time, they're single parent homes. You as a kid, you don't think about it. You're like, oh man, it's great acting. As you get older and you watch those episodes, you're thinking, man. But
Yep.
and I read an interview one time that Will said he wasn't acting that part, he really didn't have a dad. So, but I mean, for me, that episode of his dad came, he loved it. He had his dad in his life. He was doing great, and then his dad didn't want him no more. Just seeing that raw emotion for me, it didn't make me teary eyed, but man, it gave me some kind of butterflies, man. Like man, because everybody can relate to that in some sort. You may have somebody in your family, or you may know somebody who don't have a father figure or whatever. But I mean, for me, it just resonated.
So
That's a
I
great pick. Yeah.
literally remember, and I'm sure a lot of other people do too, that exact moment. As a matter of fact, Jess and I spent time today. We went to lunch, and of course, we were doing the JSA stuff today. She went with me, and we were talking about those old sitcoms and how powerful and how emotional they were, and how many of them that we remember in the moments from that. So that is a really great one. I literally remember that moment like it was yesterday. I mean,
Me
I could
too.
almost tell you like the father was a truck driver and he
Mhm.
was leaving on a trip. They were supposed to go together. And then right when it was time to go, he said, I got an opportunity to make extra money, so I'm not gonna be able to take Will. I mean, I literally remember that, so that's a great one. Very
His name
cool.
was Ray.
Yeah.
Lou,
Yep.
name was
Lou,
Lou.
Lou, Lou.
Lou.
Yeah,
Shit.
Lou.
I don't know
Yeah,
why I
Because
Lou.
said
Phil,
Ray. Lou. You're right.
because
Yeah,
Phil
'cause-
told him, he said, you're a man, you're a better man than me.
yep. He
It
said,
was
sit
a
down. He said, sit down, Lou.
No.
it was great, man. If you haven't watched the episode, man, it's a great.
You know
Just
what?
that,
Definitely
I
great
mean,
episode.
the whole Fresh Prince of Bel Air is just hilarious and has some great life lessons. But that one, man, really makes you feel some type of way.
Well, and it
Have y'all
also
watched
gave
Bel
you a
Air?
chance to look into Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil got pissed, buddy. They
Yeah,
had his temper come out. Because he had been funny before. But yeah, when he said sit down, Lou. Lou. He was
I
getting
think he knew
interested.
that he had hurt Will. You know, Will was is his nephew, but it's almost like like a second son. I mean, he had him for X amount of years, so I think he was just taught up being hurt
Yep.
because he
I
knew how
agree.
much he knew how much his dad meant to him, and But you know, in that episode, you know, Phil said, you know, he's gonna hurt him, and I know it, and sure
Yep.
enough.
I love it, man. All right, Mr. Roger Elkins. Good evening, sir. What do you got?
So probably when Sue Ellen shot JR.
Oh yeah, yep.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh,
Let's be to be real. The very first episode that just came out of Yellowstone.
Oh
That
yeah,
one
that
I
was good.
actually that
that
one
was sad, bro.
I actually teared up at that. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
But
Yeah.
Sue
So
Ellen
yeah,
didn't really shoot
that one.
Jr. Did
No,
she?
but it was suspected that she shot
It
Jr.
was
Remember?
suspected
It
that
was
she shot
Kristen, her
JR.
sister.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
knew what he
that
meant. I knew what
Yeah.
he meant.
to be honest with you, that very first episode of Yellowstone that just came out for this second part of the season.
It was
Yeah, that
rough,
one hit.
right? Like the first
Yeah,
30 seconds into it, you're not really. I mean, you know something's gonna happen, but you're like, you barely
you're,
get past the credits, and all of a sudden somebody's dead, and yeah, it was rough.
and
Emotionally, it
you're
was rough.
like, wait a second, what?
Yeah.
Because we had all
Him?
figured somebody was going
Are
to
you
die, but we didn't
crazy?
figure, you know.
Well, we
Right.
all knew. I think all of us knew who have been following Yellowstone that John Dutton, Kevin
Costner.
uh, Costner, thank you, was gonna
Huh?
die. They were gonna kill him off. But in the first 30 seconds of the first episode coming back, I don't think anybody saw that coming.
You
And
know,
it's
I was
like,
almost
whoa.
Roger. I was almost kind of
What's
convinced
up, Kevin?
when in the last episode of the season just before this new one that started, when he said he was going to Helena, I was almost convinced they were going to leave him alive and just kind of play like he was at the governor's mansion, you know?
Oh,
And
wow.
that's why going into the show, you know, we were texting in the chat, and I was like, I don't know, man. I feel like it's going to be somebody else, not him. And then boom, first thing, he's dead, you know? So
But
I
my
kind
Yeah.
favorite part about the whole series that really gets my log
of,
good and warm is Kelly Riley.
oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
imagine.
I love
Yeah,
Kelly
Beth.
Riley. She
Beth.
just gets my fire and my logs good and burning.
Your
Yep.
logs.
Good.
Yeah,
Your
I don't
logs?
want to say the H word, um, but it gets my log good and burning.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah, that one I think, well, I know for at least three of us that one was a tough one.
I
Yeah,
tell you what,
So
I sure
but
did.
going forward, I'll be using that slogan too. Got my logs burning.
Hey,
Logs running.
you're more than
I
I'll be
welcome
like
to
in the
use it.
I
new
like that
TRC
one, man.
fan.
Yep. That's gonna be on the back of every TRC shirt going forward. Got my logs burning. All right, Ben Bowman, tag team champion of the world in the house. Ben Bowman, what do you got?
Uh, for me, I'm gonna keep it. I mean, there's a lot of great, moments that make it emotional. Uh, but I'm just gonna think either probably a lot of the ones that pass on too early, like the ones that just most recent, the Terry Funk, Bray Wyatt last year.
Yeah.
That caught me off guard on those. Like it was like two or three right there in a row, and
Yeah.
uh, and then like the Scott Hall too was another one that really got to me. So I would say those as for the wrestling and trying to, and then as for the kind of the matches that got me would be the seeing the end of like Ric Flair, the first retirement match with him and Shawn Michaels at
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
WrestleMania.
Yep.
Those are probably my picks.
Good. I like it. Mr. Calvin Mania, the Cowster.
So emotional wise, I'm gonna go with this picture in the background right here, where I took that picture of my dad's urn at Hogan's Beach Shop with his belt. But the most emotional is gonna be in a couple weeks.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good deal. Absolutely. I think I think everybody around you can kind of already feel that like built up anticipation as well. So
Oh yeah.
it's going to be a big day for everybody. It's going to be a big weekend for
Oh
several of
yeah.
us too. So that's really really cool. What's up, Lou? What's up, Kevin Van Gotter? What's up, everybody in the comments? Thank you for joining us. We are covering our first topic of the night, and welcome in. If you guys have something you want to comment, please do so. King Phil King, what have you got to say for yourself, sir?
I'm kind of it's tight. It's two things, but one is y'all ever seen the Shooters with John Wayne, man?
I have. Oh,
That's
I
pretty.
love it.
It got me when I was a kid, because then he ends up dying in real life, like not that long after. So um,
Yep.
that was pretty big. But the most emotional is, and it's kind of weird. I'm a super Patriots fan, and the Super Bowl with the Patriots versus the Falcons, and you could really tell that they was really trying to win one for Tom, man. It was all about Tom and his mom. His mom hadn't made a game all year. She's real sick with, I think she has cancer, but she couldn't make a game the whole year. She made the Super Bowl. They kept writing Brady off, kept saying he was old, and um, there was if you go back and watch the mic'd up version of that Super Bowl, and Edelman's like, "For your mom, bro, for your mom," and it was just like, "Damn, this is crazy, bro." Like, especially like I've been watching the Patriots since I don't even know how old, when Bledsoe was the quarterback. So to watch that full Patriot run with Brady there for 20 years, and it, ending with that Super Bowl against the Falcons, man, it was, yeah, that's probably it for me.
I like that moment because I remember that very, very well. It was the only Super Bowl I ever watched 100% by myself. I was in a hotel room all alone on the other coast of Florida, and I remember every moment of that. So, yeah,
Yeah,
that was a really good one. I remember that.
yeah,
And not only that, I owe Tom a debt of gratitude because literally when he couldn't hack it up there in New England anymore, so they thought he come down here and help us win a Super Bowl. So I owe Tom anyway. So very cool.
yeah.
All right. Thomas Glenn, live from Las Vegas. Good evening. Hope you're doing well, man. Great friend of ours, the Chief, live from Las Vegas. How about Shane? GIA Shane, how you doing?
Not bad, not bad. Thank you.
What you got, man?
I'm gonna I'm gonna kind of piggyback off that a little bit because I remember last season when the Lions went to playoffs and won the NFC. I cried. I got teary eyed. But I was thinking before that one of the biggest shows that I think I've watched from episode 1 to the final episode probably multiple times. I've laughed during episodes, cried during episodes. Would be Friends. Friends
Yeah,
of they got a lot of good episodes.
Yeah, Friends was deep.
yeah, it was very good.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. Kev Buckler, what you got?
Well, mine comes from Yellowstone also, but it's an earlier. Um, Man, it tore me up when Buck Taylor's character Emmett Walsh. You know, they found him dead. He died there by a tree, and um, John Dutton was saying, that he went looking at the stars and died just like a cowboy should. I
Yeah,
cried my eyes out because just them saying that the way he went, he's like, he died, and when he told his wife, and his wife, fell into John's arms, just the way
yep,
that they had said, because he found him and his head was on a saddle, and he was
yeah,
outside and just sleeping under that tree, and the way he just
yeah,
said, he's like, he died under the stars, head on the saddle, just like a cowboy should. It,
yeah.
it, it tore me up.
Died on the trail. Died on the trail. I think is what
Yes,
John
sir.
Dutton said, right? Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
sir. It still
That was
kind of gets
good.
me to crackled voice a little bit because that was, I'm such a fan of him from Gunsmoke, and then
Yeah,
you know that kind of is sentimental too, and then so them portraying that, and I don't know why they killed him off, but if he did, he had the best way to go, in my opinion, and so that was sentimental.
yeah. It was really good. That's a great one. It's funny that Dr. King Phil brought up the shootist because man, that was an emotional one too. And I was going to use some of those old ones like that, but I actually changed mine up really late today. I was originally going to talk about the series 1883 where Elsa dies because that's so like just way out emotional. But I didn't think anybody would really remember it or have seen it, so I didn't really get into that one. But the one for me was the movie Remember the Titans. So, they're getting ready to go to the championship game, and Gary Bertier is driving his car downtown, and he goes to show off and wrecks his car and permanently injures himself. And man, what an emotional moment that was. If you've seen Remember the Titans, where he has a car wreck, he's in the hospital, he's paralyzed from the waist down, and that was a really emotional moment. So if you saw that movie, probably when was that? Back about 2000, about
Probably
24, 25 years ago.
2001. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while now, but if you saw that and you remember that moment, that was a very, very emotional moment. There was also a couple other real emotional moments in that movie too. So if you go back and you watch it, there's some like make you feel good and some tearjerker spots too. Because even when they're at mini camp away from home for the first time, and they're all kind of bonding and stuff, like that's one of those feel good moments. Like you feel like, wow, this team's going to come together and they're going to do something, and that's a real feel good moment. So. Definitely enjoyed everybody's picks. Great
Yeah,
picks.
yeah, and I appreciate the manual bringing that up. And I want to say, you said a feel good moment. Also from um, Fresh Prince of Bel Air. My favorite feel good moment of all of all sitcoms. The feel good moment is when Phil went down there to play pool to try to get that money
Yeah,
back in his
and he
car.
hustled him. He hustled him.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
And,
yeah,
and so we all thought, that Phil. I'm like, oh my god, this ain't gonna turn out. And then he's like, Jeffrey, get Lucille. I'm like,
That's
yeah,
right.
you're just so
Yeah.
good for him. You're like, man, Uncle Phil is kicking ass. Sorry,
that's
I
My,
know
right.
I know it wasn't a
Yeah.
feel good moment, but I had to bring that up.
I,
That was a
one of,
So
good show.
correct me if I'm wrong, because it's been a long time since I watched that. But wasn't he like as he was hitting the balls, he was kind of like dancing around the
yes,
table and like he
Yeah.
yeah,
stopped to take a
Eating a
bite out of
sandwich.
a sandwich, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh my
Right.
yeah.
gosh,
One handed and all that.
That's why he was
yeah,
dancing. He gave Will a high five. So that's just I had to
Like
bring that up.
yeah.
one of my favorites is I don't know if you remember this one. Is like you got Hillary, Ashley, or you got Hillary and Carter on the steps. You got Will and his girlfriend on the couch, and he's like, "Baby, I love you," and like and they're in the background mocking him. Remember that? You remember that
Yes,
episode?
sure
They're like in
do.
the
Yep.
background mocking him, and Ashley comes down and she's like, "Whatever you do, you better give me a double." And like that, and Will's like,
Yep.
that's probably one of my favorite episodes. They're just mocking Will, like his lines never change to every girl. It's always the same.
All right, one more of those, right? So remember when Ashley becomes the singer,
Yeah,
and they're like, "My man, how about a CD of Ashley?" And he's like, "Man, she's weak. Last week."
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one too, man. I don't think they ever made a bad episode of that show.
No,
No,
Have
You
y'all
our
know,
seen the
great
new
friend.
Bel Air?
no, I'm
I
not
have
Yeah,
watching
not
the new one. I
seen it.
can't. I
I've
can't bring
not
myself
seen
to
it.
do it.
It's pretty good. It's more like a drama, more so than the sitcom. But it goes into like a lot of detail about certain situations on Fresh Prince.
I
It's
can't.
pretty good though.
Oh, well, now I'm gonna watch it because now I got to see. I mean, usually it's kind of weird. Like I'll wait for people to recommend stuff. Like I ask a lot in the chat, like, "Hey, has anybody seen this or anybody check this out?" And if somebody says, "Oh yeah, I saw it," it's worth watching. So
Yeah.
Lou commented
Yeah,
the way Beth from Yellowstone screamed when Rip came home after her father died. Yeah, that was very emotional as
and then
well. So
here's
and then
Chuck's.
Old Yeller. I mean, that's a classic. Old Yeller was terribly sad, of course.
Kevin Van Gelder.
Uh, his is Radio, the one that really got him, hit him in the heart. Radio was a
Radio's
tough,
good.
tough movie to watch.
There's
So,
Chief.
Yeah.
let's see. Willis Reed, 1970 finals coming out second half, starting against the Lakers. Leg injury, dragging up and down the court. What a gritty game. I'll have to look that up on YouTube because that was before my time, but I'm sure that definitely sounds emotional.
Hey, when Apollo died too.
Oh yeah, it's
I
hard.
almost said
See,
that one.
and there's a lot of those that I was going to use, and I was like, I don't know how many people will know these. Like
Yeah.
if you haven't seen 1883, the series, you probably wouldn't know what it was all about when Elsa died. But literally, when Elsa dies at that tree, that's the moment that sets up all the other spin-off for all of the Yellowstone shows. And
Wow.
people don't realize that. But literally, that moment, like there, you watch this whole series, and I mean, it all matters, but none of it matters except for that moment. And then literally, that moment's what sets up everything else. So.
Yeah.
Kev, I know we're over our time. What do we got next for our next topic?
Our next topic is going to be our anything that we want about Survivor Series that has to do with Survivor
Nice.
Series, memories of if it has to, just something that's special that that you remember as a kid that has to do with Thanksgiving, or just something that'll stay with you for forever that has to do with a Survivor Series match or anything that happened.
Can we add in there too,
Sure.
along with it, as far as like, what do you think was the single greatest Survivor Series team? Like, single greatest could be heels, could be faces, but one team of all the Survivor Series over the years, what was the single greatest team?
Okay.
Sorry, I was reading Lou. She
Yeah.
died so peacefully under the tree. Literally, if you haven't seen it, let me tell you, that series is a little brutal for me. There's some parts in it that I just was like, they could have left that out. But the overall series was really good. And even if you don't want to watch the whole series, if you just go to YouTube and watch when Elsa passes away or Elsa dies, literally it sets up everything else. But all right, who are we going to start with? Guru?
So is it like a 5-part question?
No.
Okay.
Just Survivor, any Survivor Series, you can talk about your moments or whatever. But the one
Uh,
question in there is, what do
Greatest
you think
Survivor
is the
Series team. Okay.
single most impressive, or your favorite, or talk about one team specifically, and then anything else that you can think of Survivor Series wise.
So my favorite team was Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett, Diesel, Shawn Michaels. That team is one of my favorites. It was all the cool guys when I was a kid. Like I want like I had Shawn Michaels glasses and the little breakaway little vests.
You have
To me
pictures?
that huh
Do you have pictures?
probably somewhere I'm sure, but
That'd be great.
they'll never surface.
Ah,
But I mean, to me, that was one of my favorite. That was one of my favorite teams because it was all the cool guys, the cool bad guys. Um,
The
but
Teamsters. The
yeah,
Teamsters.
yeah, the team. I mean, to me they were cool. It was the heel that they were, but Shawn Michaels was still kind of over. So I mean, like he was a bad boy, but people still liked him. They were dudes with attitude. They were cool. You got the big giant dude with wear sunglasses and does this all the time. I thought, man, I want my friend to be like him.
Yeah.
Um, but as far as Survivor Series like moments, this is probably gonna be no surprise. But it's probably last year's War Games when my savior came back home. The second city saint. The voice of the voiceless came back. The prodigal son came home. It's probably one of my favorite Survivor Series moments when CM Punk came back.
Yep. That was a big moment too,
yeah.
man.
Was hit all
Big
day.
moment.
Nobody knew Seth Rollins was legit pissed.
Right.
Like
Oh,
legit.
yeah,
Like
legit. Nobody knew.
no, I seen it like
Well,
he did like an interview with like Chris Van Vliet, and he said like they hit him in a hotel 8 blocks away, and he had to run 8 blocks to make it. And like he just said, I ran in a hoodie that nobody knew who I was, and I got in the arena, and I was like, you could just hit me out here. They was like, but he wanted it to be like nobody thought he was coming. It came out. He said he almost left Mrs. Hugh because he was just running. Like he just got there late.
Yep. Awesome. All right. Mr. Roger, what do you got, man?
mine would have been the one. I'm not sure if it was Survivor Series, but the one where shit. No, I just lost it. Finn Balor got his head split open by Edge.
Okay.
That one was my favorite. Now, my favorite team would have been from way back. It would have been the the shit Hulk Hogan and Brutus Beefcake when they were the not the Mega Powers, the
Megamaniacs.
thank you, Mega Maniacs.
Got it. Yeah. All right. Very cool. Let's see here. Tag team champion of the world, Ben Bowman. What do you got?
Let's see. We'll start out with the team. In my opinion, the greatest of all time Survivor Series team. Uh, the All Americans, Lex Luger, Steiners, and Undertaker. I mean, that is a great four. You know, got one great tag team, great world champions. Uh, like I said that, and then like I said, they beat Borga and all them, and Borga at the time I think was undefeated or didn't lose many. So, like I said, that was probably my favorite team. Uh, and then as for memories, you got vignettes. Those vignettes from the second one. Uh, you know, Dusty loves his polka dots. You know, you cannot forget those vignettes. I'm like I said, the $1 million man about the money that I'm rich. I mean, stuff like that was great. But then the gobbledygooker, you know, he had that the egg. You didn't know who was going to be. Is it going to be a big, you know, surprise? Who's going to make a debut? And it was the gobbledygooker. Uh, that's some of probably my, you know, as for Survivor Series moments that you know that stand out. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
Kevin Van Gouder in the comments says single greatest Survivor Series team was the Ultimate Warrior, Texas Tornado, and the Road Warriors. I think they were actually called the Warriors, if I remember correctly. And then Chuck Waggle in the comments says his Survivor Series moment is the first Survivor Series he was there. And then Lou says, I'm glad CM Punk kept his same theme music. She loved that song. Absolutely. All right, Mr. Calvin. Calvin Mania, what do you got?
So, as far as favorite Survivor Series team, I'm gonna go from like 2 years ago with War Games with the Bloodline and
Yeah.
Sami Zayn.
Okay.
I mean, which is also the favorite moment where they trusted Sami Zayn on the Bloodline and he proved himself.
Oh yeah. Yep. Good deal. All right, King Phil, what do you got?
So you know, Will, we've been watching Survivor Series for feels like 2 weeks now, man. I don't
It's been a
know.
lot. Been a lot of fun too, right?
Yeah, it has, right? It's just so many moments. It's tough. One of my favorite moments is the perfect team with perfect and uh, perfect and damn it, it was they were against Flair and Razor. Perfect and
Macho Man.
yeah, Macho Man. That's one of my favorite moments. Um, the Stone Cold, The Rock. I don't know. It was a lot going on in that one too. That was a great moment. Favorite team of all time? It might be that $1 million Dream Team. That's probably who I'm gonna go with.
That was a hell of a team, right? The million
Yeah,
dollar team. Zeus, Ted DiBiase. You had the Powers of Pain with them as well.
yeah, they were stacked.
Yeah, that was a good event too.
That Demolition Team was, uh, they were
Hogan
stacked
and
too.
Jake. Hogan
Yeah,
and Jake and Demo. Yeah.
yeah, they were stacked too. So Survivor Series is definitely one of the best pay per views, at least as far as I think. You got the debut of the Undertaker in what was that Survivor Series '91 or something?
90. Yep.
90. Okay,
Yep.
so just so many moments, but um, yeah, the $1 million Dream Team, the $1 million team is probably my favorite.
Gotcha. G.I. Shane in the house. What do you got?
Yeah, I one that's standing out to me too was like the Ultimate Warrior with the Warriors or the Road Warriors, Legion of Doom. That was one of my favorites. Being young and going over to my neighbor's house and watching him, the pay-per-view with him and his mom. Uh, those those were always fun memories, growing up. Um, and yeah, the Jake the Snake with the demo. That's about all I got.
Okay. Yeah, Kevin, I saw that in a recent interview that he didn't want to be on that team, but of course it set up a tremendous feud for him to go after the world title. So Thomas Glenn, the Chief, says his favorite team of all time was Team Andre in 1987. Chuck also says his favorite team of all time was Team Andre in 1987. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it was a tremendously stacked team. I mean, it's hard to argue with that. Kev, what do you got? I'll close the segment out for us.
So going to my favorite team, and it kind of has to do with my favorite moment at the same time. Any team with Hogan in it in the early years was great. That was my favorite teams because it's a Thanksgiving night tradition. So I knew, when I think back at that, um, it makes me think of my grandparents because I was there. They always had a big meal, and they would always get that pay-per-view for me, and so I knew that Hulk Hogan's Survivor Series match was always going to be last. So it gives me a good feeling. That's why I'm talking about it, because it makes me think of my grandparents, because I know the early days of Hogan, he was going to be at least one of the final survivors, at least, and you were going to have at least a 10-minute Hogan celebration. And I was a huge Hulkamaniac back then, so I got to, you know, eat dinner with my family, get to be with my grandparents and the other family, and I knew that I was going to see a Hogan celebration. So that was the best thing for me, because the early time you knew there was going to be a Hogan celebration at the end.
Gotcha. Okay. Very good.
Kevin Van Gelder's here.
Kevin Van Gelder. My favorite moment of all time is the debut of The Undertaker, and Roddy Piper says, "Oh, look at the size of that ham hock."
I
Absolutely.
remember.
Absolutely. I
Zoe.
remember it. The only thing I don't like about War Games this year is they are bringing people in that wasn't even in the storyline with the bloodline. Absolutely, but I think they're trying to put enough people in there to make it interesting with ongoing
Yeah.
feuds and closing feuds out before WrestleMania and creating new ones too. So I think there's a method to the madness, but I think, in my opinion, Survivor Series today is not anything like it was, back in the day, the late '80s, '90s, and Survivor Series actually originated as nothing more than to steal money from another company. The reason
Right.
that Survivor Series was originated was to take money away from WCW and the money that they were going to bring in for Starcade. So WWF decided, if you're going to, have a Starcade, I'm going to have a Survivor Series. I'm going to try to take that dollar. So everything was a race for a dollar back then, and that's what originated it. Ben already
It was
mentioned
just
it.
thrown together. It was just thrown together. It was just
It was
something,
thrown
like
together.
you said. It was something thrown together to keep another company from making money.
Yeah. Ben already stole my favorite team of all time. Of course, you guys know my favorite Survivor Series of all time, and I'm going to go ahead and show you one of my great things that I love here. The original Survivor Series '93 VHS tape. I've literally had this since 1994 when it came out. It's the
Oh
Survivor
wow.
Series from 1993. But my favorite team of all time is right there on the cover. It's Undertaker, Lex, and the Steiners. It was actually supposed to be Tatanka, Lex, and the Steiners, but of course, a lot of things changed for that matchup. So, still in really great shape. I ordered it directly from Coliseum Video back then, and it still plays great, and absolutely love it. So, but that is one of my early. I mean, this thing's 31 years old, and it looks like it could be on the video store shelf today. So, um, I wasn't going to show that, but I bring that up to talk about, my favorite team was the All Americans. It was such a time where you were post Hogan, because Hogan wasn't in WWF anymore. Warrior was gone. Sarge was gone.
Jake was gone. Macho was there, but he was really on his way out, and he wasn't wrestling. He was commentating most of the time, but he did wrestle in that match there, one of those matches. So it was such a different Survivor Series. The teams were different. The whole idea, the characters were totally different than prior to that. That it just really made it to me like it was a successful event without having those big, larger than life characters. A lot of common man characters, if you will, not to be confused with Dusty. But and then of course overall moments from Survivor Series. Uh, you know, 87. How can you forget? Andre's team beats Hogan's team. I don't think anybody saw that coming. I think everybody thought Hogan's team would go over. 88, you had the Twin Towers, which was Boss Man and Akeem against, the big team of Macho Man and Hogan. But actually, earlier in that card, one of the better matches was, the team with Brutus and Jake earlier in that card, or excuse me, Brutus and the Warrior. And I think Jake might have even been on that team as well. So 89, of course, you had the feud everybody wanted to see with Hogan and Zeus. The teams were going to face off. It was Hogan's team and Million Dollar Team. And then you get Zeus out there for about 35 seconds and gets disqualified and he's out of there. And you're like, what the hell? Because you were so excited. 1990, the first year they did the um, everybody that wins survives and goes to a final Survivor Series match. And you had an entire team of bad guys against three good guys. That was, another tremendous, moment there. 91, the gravest challenge. Who would have ever thought, even though it was The Undertaker and he was dead and couldn't be beat, undefeated at that point, who would have ever thought he was actually going to take the belt from Hogan? Of course, he does. And then, of course, 92, 93, all through that era, so many great moments. But one other one I'll bring up 94, Bob Backlund takes the world title from Bret Hart. Nobody saw that coming. That was a big deal. And of course, it was literally just to put the belt on Diesel a couple days later. Like that's the only reason they did it. But you were like, wow, I can't believe Backlund could actually beat Bret Hart. It just wasn't something you expected at that time. And Undertaker and Yokozuna casket match, Chuck Norris special referee. 95, Bret Hart defeats Diesel for the belt. That was a big one. And of course, you had the wild card matchup, which is probably what stole the show that year. Even though that Bret Diesel match was incredible and probably or very likely my favorite Bret Hart match of all time, that wild card match was just straight fire. 96, Hart and Austin, big deal. And then Sid takes the belt off Shawn at the end of the 96 Survivor Series. 97, Montreal Screwjob. But that whole card is stacked. That 97 card is stacked. You had where, Owen and Austin part two, basically, because Austin had been injured in SummerSlam. That was a big match on that card. A lot of people forget that because the Montreal Screwjob kind of overshadows everything there. 98, everybody thinks that Rock is the good guy, Mankind's the bad guy. Of course, in the main event of the tournament, they flip, which is just tremendous build up to the characters. And then all of a sudden, it's like that big flip where, you know, it's a hard fall, but a worse landing kind of thing. 99, Big Show. You don't really think it's possible that Big Show is going to win the title after everything he's been through, and all of a sudden Big Show wins the belt. So many different great moments there, all throughout that whole time period of Survivor Series. And then, of course, there's plenty of other ones. 2001, Winner Take All was great as well. There's a lot of other ones, but those are the classics. And when we talked about doing the Survivor Series rewatch, we talked about, doing it from like the beginning in the late 80s all the way up to 99 and then stopping because that is the classic Survivor Series window. Once you get after that, it gets a little funky there for a while. So, but 87 to 99, if you haven't watched it, check it out. It's been a lot of fun. I'm actually doing 93 tonight. I finished 92 yesterday. So I'm doing 93 tonight. Very cool conversation, very cool topic. Kev, what's next? What do we got next?
We are going into show and tell.
Woo!
And guess who gets to go first? Me.
Who?
Who?
I just got a couple things. I got this from Will. It's in here. It's a signed Hall of Fame program from when Bret Hart got inducted, signed by Bret himself.
2006, baby.
This is one of my favorite collection pieces that I own. So, and I
A
also
lot of
got
people, a lot of people don't realize how significant that is, though, Kev. You got to tell them about how significant because Bret was gone from the company from
right.
'97 until that moment. That's the first time he reappeared in WWF was to take that Hall of Fame induction.
Yeah, and not only that, he wouldn't show up at the WrestleMania the following night. He didn't feel comfortable.
Yep.
So, and also I got this from Will. I believe this came from the Luna Vachon estate, right, Will?
Absolutely, it did. Absolutely, it did. Yep.
It's
Yep.
got
I
a
remember it
Corona
well.
autograph on the inside, but I mean, it's got some more people that I need to get. But it's an international Superstars International. I mean, look
Yep.
at some of these. I mean, the photos. I mean, this is
Oh yeah.
not a magazine or program or whatever you want to call it that you're going to come across every day.
Nope. Look at that.
It's beautiful.
1994. It was their, I believe it was their summer tour in '94. I have a poster that also came from her that matches those dates and those events where they toured all over Europe, all over
Wow.
Germany, and different places. So incredible. I love
And
that program. And
and I'm
I've
still
actually, through the years, I've been getting mine signed here and there too. So I picked up two of those from Luna. You have one, and I own one. So it was
and I'm
right
still
after
pissed
she had
that this dude
passed.
right here, not this dude didn't get a title run. Look at him right there. He's ready for a title run, and I'm still pissed about it.
Oh yeah, I just talked to Larry Walker yesterday about elites that we need, and we need a 3-pack of Crush. We need Demolition Crush, we need Kona Crush, and we need Evil Crush, and a 3-pack of elites.
I'd buy the hell out of it.
Me too. I'd love that.
Manuel, Mr. Guru,
Guru.
what's up? You're on mute, brother.
My bad. I'm watching TV.
There you go.
So I want to show. I got this bad boy from Wheel
Oh, that's sweet.
Nice.
Yoko.
That's the flashback elite, baby.
It's
That's
still
sweet as hell.
still a sweet figure. Then
Well, I
got
love
this.
it.
Let me show you my.
Oh hell, I should probably. There you go.
Look
James
at
E.
Here we
look
go.
at James E.
Here we
James
go.
E. Hornet,
The old promo, man.
my favorite manager of all time. You know,
That's
Those are hard to
beautiful.
find, man. Those promos are hard to find.
I got another
Ben
one
and
from
I
Ben, but I'll show it next week.
like that.
I bought one off live. I think last week from Ben.
Original promo like that.
No, it wasn't like this. It was
No.
the one that was like one he said. It was like another one. He's
I was talking about the promo though. It's hard to find those
yeah,
original
yeah.
promos.
Yeah.
You know,
That's the,
Ben and I. It was Ben and I and Kev. I think I can't remember. I know it was the three of us, but I can't remember who else was there with us. But we were in one of the shows, and we walked up to this table, and this dude had like this massive box of like old promos, and we were digging through it and buying all kinds of promos. But that was like going to California and striking gold because you just
Oh yeah.
can't come across those old promos like that.
Yeah, I think it was
And
at Indy.
was
It
it?
was
I don't
an
even
indie.
remember. I don't remember what year it was, but I remember all of us going up to that table and looking through them, being like, "Man, are these real?" You know, and having to like take them out and touch them and feel them and mess with them. And
Yeah,
man,
that was 2
Powers of
years
Pain
ago.
indie.
Not last year, year before last.
Powers of
When
Pain
we had
indie.
Powers of Pain.
oh yeah, yep, yeah, man, we had a
I
good
got.
time there. I love it, Manuel. I love that promo, man. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good. Then I got my favorite tag team ever, Steve Keirn and Stan Lane, the Fabulous Ones.
Oh yeah, nice.
Just bought another the same print last night. So, um, I
I
think
love
being,
that.
I think Kev called it the Chippendales look.
I
Uh,
never
That was
call it. I don't like to
that.
call it the Chippendales look because I was a kid and never thought about the Chippendales look. I love them like that. Ben calls it the Chippendales look.
I know somebody did, and then this one was my favorite tag team growing up as a kid.
Oh yeah.
JC Ice and Wolfie D. You know, PG-13. in the old school wrestling days. So that's
Nation of
all I got.
Domination. Nation of Domination. Remember them coming out rapping?
Oh yeah,
We are
and
the
they were
nation live and in color.
that's
Don't diss a man or will bum rush your mother.
Right. Are you
Very
done,
cool,
folks?
Manuel.
Okay.
Very cool,
I
Manuel.
think
Thank
thank
that
you.
you.
he's done. Lou's
Now,
got something
now,
for you, Ben. Your little girl's cute, Lou says, Ben.
Oh, thank you, Lou. Say thank you.
Thank you.
Roger. Roger's going to show one of the main events tonight. I just know it. I know we got a main event coming from Roger. Mr.
No,
Elkins.
not this time. It's coming. It'll be here tomorrow. I picked this up out when I was shopping.
Well, that's sweet.
I love that figure.
Cool. That's cool.
The Ray Ultimate.
Rivet.
Shut up, you. And I got this from Ben.
Nice.
Project Peace.
Got Tugboat, Typhoon, the Mountie, Leaf Cassidy, and Ben, you'll have to help me with the last one because I know it's
Avatar.
Yeah,
it's
Avatar.
Avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah, Avatar. I know Al Snow never signs with Avatar that often, so this is a
Yeah, those
special one.
are sweet.
But another logo piece to fill up and then
Who has
go
sleep
from there.
apnea?
That's Calvin.
Somebody has sleep
Calvin's
apnea.
Calvin's got sleep apnea.
Not me, guys. Hey, that Rey Mysterio. I love that face scan. If you look at it close enough, it almost looks like a monster. Like the way his
Yeah.
mask looks. I mean, it's super cool. I shared a picture of that in the chat not too long ago where like his face looks like some sort of monster. It's really cool.
Yeah, I saw that too. And then the one on this side
Yeah.
has got him. The one over here makes him look like he's pissed off or something. And
It's
then
like
this one over
inspired
here
from
has
the
got
Great
him
Muda.
smiling.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it looks like
Yeah.
Kev, when you see it in person though, it looks like a monster. It's super cool, man.
It is similar. The mask style is very similar to the Great Muda. That's a good point, Kev.
All right. Roger's done. Ben.
All right. Got Marion's going to show some of her pickups this week. All right, show 'em. So
Let's
she's
see what you
got
Oh man,
the
that's cool.
ruined Chica, or actually the ruined Roxy from Five Nights at Freddy. Just grab that one. And then we found the snaps. They're called snaps. You can take the head off, the body, the torso of Roxanne Wolf. And then I think it was the last single snaps that she had to get. She's got almost every single one of them. And then her last thing that she got was a pumpkin. You squeeze it and it pops out a ghost. And then tell them what the name is for the pumpkin and the ghost.
Ghosty and Pumpkin.
So the pumpkin's hunkin pumpkin, and then the ghost is ghosty.
Oh, that makes sense.
There's
That makes sense.
the thing. But hey, tell them real quick, what do you want for Christmas?
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Say it louder.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
So she wants Five Nights at Freddy's. So we got to tell Santa that's what she wants.
Yeah.
So other than that, that's all the show and tell we got.
Very cool.
It's the best one we've seen all night.
Very cool.
Mr.
That's
Calvin.
the winner right there. Winner of the night.
Hold on,
Calling it.
Kev.
Yes.
Do you
Yes,
got them pictures I sent you
No,
last week?
I can.
If so, I want to go last. If
Okay.
not, I'll go now.
Yeah, go now because I don't have those pulled up. I guess
Okay.
I wasn't around last week, so I'm sorry.
What the hell, Kev?
I know.
Come on, Kev.
That's when he was dying. That's when he was sick.
Yes, I
Oh,
was.
whoa. Let's not start making excuses for Kev.
I was in the damn hospital.
He said he was
Come on
sick.
now.
He said he was sick.
Let's not
He
cut him
said.
any breaks here. Come on now.
Keyword, he said, right?
So you
All
going
right,
now?
who do we
Calvin.
got? Calvin? Or we got
Calvin.
Phil?
Calvin.
Calvin. Okay.
All right, so
Go ahead.
I got this from Ben.
Oh, that's cool.
Ooh, man, I like
Ooh,
that.
that's sharp.
I'm just not 100% if I want to get it completed or not
Oh man, I know
in
it's
a
getting
couple weeks.
tougher, right? It's getting
Yeah,
tougher, right? Because the time starts to tick down and it gets tougher.
and
Yeet.
Oh, I
then
like
I
it.
got this
Yeet.
from Ben,
That's cool, man.
Nice.
That's a cool
Yeet.
shot.
and then I told y'all I'm going prepared. I got this in
Oh, yeah.
today.
Oh yeah, man,
Nice.
that looks great.
So
Hell
you
yeah.
didn't
Bring
get
it
the
to me,
hat?
That's
brother.
that's all I got.
The
And
paint, the brother.
I
Nice.
don't think you've shown us that shirt either, right? The OTC shirt. That's
Oh yeah, well I mean I got this in today too.
Is
that
that a
is
wheel
sweet,
shirt? Is that
man.
a
That
wheel?
is sharp.
Okay. I'll
Damn,
hush.
Hey,
kid.
Hold on.
Calvamania.
Damn,
I don't
Kev,
get. I don't know how
get
Calvamania.
well this will work.
Calvamania is a Will Hudson guy.
What's that?
So 2 weeks ago I was a part of an anti-bully show. The best part of the show was the tag match. 13-year-old kid helped his dad retain the tag titles. It wasn't like a couple years ago WrestleMania where Braun Strowman picked him out the crowd, whatever. He's actually involved in this. He gets in the ring every show that his dad is at. It works out with his dad. He's been doing this since he was probably 5 or 6 years old. 13
Nice.
years old. He has a future.
Nice.
Nice. That's awesome.
Cool. That's cool.
Talking about
I mean, he done the suicide dive through the ropes, all of it.
we were talking about emotional moments earlier, and I remember hearing
That's
about this in the chat, and this was some emotional moments here too.
that
That's
was it
awesome.
right there.
See, I'm prepared. Damn it.
You weren't
Kev,
prepared.
you were not prepared.
Never
Stop it.
doubted you, brother. I never doubted you.
Thank you,
I
sir.
did. I did.
I did.
Hey, Kev, what's the famous words? Damn it, Kev.
Damn it. That is our favorite word.
Oh, I thought it was
Or,
big dummy.
well, you
No,
can ask Ben Bowman for the other famous words. You had one job.
One job.
we're also
One
the
job.
one.
One job.
The famous word recently has been quite, quite stupid. What was that? That Gary Hart said.
He's a might
Mike
slow.
stupid.
My
Yeah, Mike
slow.
Slow.
Yep. King Phil in the house. What do you got, man?
So I got my first Hogan
Hell yeah.
Ooh,
Hell yeah.
since, I don't know, the 90s, I guess.
Nice.
Well, that's a great figure to have.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That is a good
But
figure to
I
have.
figured out what I would do, and
That's
I
the
want
one
to
with
target
the.
the goats and start my collection.
So
Him, Roman. Start on Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels. I'm gonna work my way and try to
Nice.
collect as many of those. Like I've been trying to figure out a game plan of what I was gonna do, and that's what I'm gonna
So Phil, let me ask you: are you going to go for Lucy's? Are you going to go for carded? Are you going to go for signed? What are you thinking?
do.
Let me try to
Probably.
let me try to recruit you to the Lucy
We
side because
we
we have the most fun on the Lucy side. I'm just saying.
rip it. Just
Okay.
rip that
rip
Hogan.
it, rip it,
Rip it.
No,
rip
I
Just
it.
can't
just
do it
rip it.
yet.
Rip it. It
I
looks better
can't do it
loose.
yet.
It
Phil's
looks better
thinking
loose.
Phil's thinking, fuck off,
Rip it.
guys. I ain't ripping this open.
Yeah, not yet. Not yet. I might get it signed first.
There you go.
Cool
Oh,
deal.
if you get a sign, there ain't no way to rip it. Then you got to keep it. You got to keep
Yeah.
it mock.
Yeah, I gotta keep it fresh.
Yeah, get it
Or you can be
signed.
like Dr. Nick and buy two.
That's true. I'm not opposed to buying two. I'm not opposed to opening one and ripping one.
Let me show you why. Let me show you. Let me see here. I got one here somewhere handy. Yeah, right here. Let me show you why ripping it open is the way to go. Look here. Exact same figure, baby. Look at that.
Yeah,
All I did was throw a belt on him and pose him.
yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's clean.
So I'm thinking Lou wants John Moxley for Christmas this year. The way she said that Renee wouldn't like it. So
I was thinking the same thing. I just hadn't quite got to that comment yet, but I think you're right. I think
that's
you're
what,
right.
and
G.I. Shane in the
she doesn't
house.
want Ben to
What?
say horror.
Yeah, Ben, don't say horror.
Horror.
No,
Horror.
See, that's the problem when you're from Kentucky. You don't have that enunciation. You gotta articulate what you're saying. Ben just straight whore everything.
It's
That's the
horror.
Cody.
Found the
Nice.
Cody
Damn.
and I found the Ray.
And the Ray.
Nice.
Oh,
Now I just need the Xavier Woods, and I'll have all
I still need
six
that
of
Roman.
them.
I'll probably never find it.
I've only
I
found one in the stores. I've only count just now when I went in there they had the like two Codys and like two Seths and then the one Ray. I got this little
I'm.
rock Christmas figure.
Oh
There
yeah.
you go.
I know I showed a couple guys this the other day. A little Bray
Oh
Wyatt
yeah.
That's
Firefly
nice. The
Funhouse.
Fire Funhouse.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Hey Kev, does that remind you of something?
Yes,
That little guy we just found in the garage,
it
remember?
does.
That's awesome.
At
Oh,
this Rey
that's nice.
Mysterio,
Nice.
Ruthless
Ruthless
Aggression one.
aggression.
I found this one.
Rip
You know
it.
what we do with them
Rip
basics.
it.
There we
That's
go.
right. Rip it. There you
Gotta
There
go.
you
open the
go.
basics.
That's how we
Shane's living
do it.
on Shane's on the dark side with
There
me.
we go.
Hey, I
Yeah,
tell
you
you what, basics
gotta
have come a
open the
long
basics.
way. Basics have come a long way.
Oh yeah, they're way better than what they used to be.
Yep. Oh
And
yeah.
then
Yeah, my
I've had
Walmart,
this
my
guy.
Target don't have nothing.
I wanted to show him little Storm
Nice.
Shadow.
Storm.
Oh, Storm
I was
Shadow's
just about to
awesome.
say.
I just got this guy,
Wow. That is cool.
the new
The, and the
classified
difference in
version.
sizes.
Yeah, this is 6-inch classified figure. These are the old school 3 and a
Yeah.
quarter inch or whatever it is.
And see,
This
I'm
one's from
always
the
I
80s.
say this every week, but I'm always so jealous of that. Like I don't even collect it, and it's so cool. Like I would open those up and just display them just because they're badass.
Oh
I
no.
have a few that I
Okay.
like. I'll buy doubles, like like this one I have open. Uh, this guy I have open. Like the Snake Eyes Storm Shadow ones. Uh, I'll open them up, or I'll buy a couple and have like because they come with different heads. So,
Yep.
but
That's so cool, man. I love that stuff.
Man, I see a sweet Cobra Commander back there behind your shoulder.
oh yeah, there's probably all kinds of them.
Yes.
That's
All
awesome.
over. I got a Cobra Commander section on the other side of the room. I got a
You
bunch
know,
of them over there.
Shane, you and I had a conversation not long ago about being blessed. I don't know if you remember it or not, but you and I talked about being blessed, right? So
Mm-hmm.
when you're chilling in your room and you look at that wall behind you and you look at the stuff in front of you, man, we're spot on with what we were talking about, man. We truly are blessed, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All
Yeah.
kinds of them. All over throughout the whole room.
Beautiful. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All
All
right,
right.
I think it's my turn, right, Kev? So I'll try to make it a little quicker, a little shorter, sweeter for you guys. I had Jess like right when we went live run and pull these off the rack because I wanted to make sure I showed you. Now, obviously, I kind of spoiled this one a little bit earlier because I needed to show the teams and talk about it. But this is original from '93, my collection. I mean, literally, it looks like it could be in the video store. It looks so new. Even as a kid, '93, I would have been about 11 years old. I mean, I really took care of it. Here's another one from my collection as a kid. What would have been '89, the third annual Survivor Series. Look at the box. Look how good this thing looks. I mean, even as a kid, I knew, hey, I'm gonna hang on to these for a long time, and I would have been probably 10 or younger, and I'm 42 now, and I mean, oh, I wasn't kind.
Samuel.
I didn't rewind. I wasn't kind.
Damn it.
So some of you guys don't remember that, but
Will, you had one job.
You
I
had
Uh,
know.
one job.
Look at that. Isn't that sweet?
yeah.
a lot of these are from my personal collection. Well, they're all from my PC, but a lot of them are from when I was literally a kid. I mean,
They look straight mint.
that's what I'm saying. These are awesome. Now this last one I'm going to show because I've got so many of them. So Ben and I'm sure it was Ben and I because I remember cussing about it. We were at a show and we found this video, but when we opened it up, the video inside was some sort of weird bullshit. It wasn't this Survivor Series, the 1990 Survivor Series. It was like, I don't remember what it was called, but it was like some random bullshit was the name of the movie, right? So I said, Ben, look at this random bullshit they just stuck in this box to try to get you to buy this. But I asked the guy, I said, can I just buy the box? And I don't remember what it was, but he ended up selling me the box and the bullshit tape. I pitched the bullshit tape, and I came home and I was looking on eBay, and they had just the tape on eBay. So I bought just the tape, put it in the VCR, checked it out, it worked, put it with the original box, and bam, got the 1990 Survivor Series right there. So I needed that one for the collection.
I don't know
That was
where
at
we were,
WrestleCade.
but I was there too. I don't know where it
Yeah,
was, but
it was at WrestleCade. It was one of the big indie wrestlers, or well, the older wrestlers.
See, so if you guys ever wonder why I keep Ben around, it's because I don't remember shit, and I always say, "Hey Ben, where were we? When was it? All that stuff." And Ben's like, "Hey man, I got you. It was at WrestleCade. It was an indie wrestler. Remember that, Ben?" I'm like,
Yep.
"Look at this bullshit
Yep.
inside this
Yep.
box."
Yeah, it was the older guy. I forgot his name. I want to say it was like Gary or something. I could
yeah,
be
that's
way off.
Gary.
But
He preaches at all the
yep,
the.
yes,
He
that
says he's a
guy.
preacher.
Yes. But the thing is too, another thing a teaching moment there is where me and Will, I know we've been buying a lot of the old VHS tapes. Always, always, always make sure the damn tape is the same as it is in the box. Because there's
Yep.
many times you get excited, you find something, and you look in the box, the tape's totally wrong.
Was his
Yeah,
last
I
name
came
South?
home. Yeah, George South.
Or South?
Yeah,
There.
George.
That's
Yeah,
what it was. Yep. You're right. Good memory there too, Kev, on that one. Yeah, because I
That's
came
why
home
we
with a
keep
Royal
Kev
Rumble.
around.
Yeah, that's why we keep Kev around. So I came home with a Royal Rumble '95 tape, and it looked like it was sealed. It was beautiful. It looked like it was sealed. I opened it up, and inside of it was like some home recorded porn movie, like on a blank tape. That's a true story. That's a true story. So I
Nice.
ended up, I ended
I've
up,
heard it before, but it's just funny.
My type
so
of
I ended
shit
up,
right there, boys.
I threw that tape away. I got all upset because I had spent like $40 on this VHS because I thought it was a new VHS, and I threw that tape away. I went on eBay and somebody was selling just the cassette because sometimes the boxes get trashed and they'll sell just the movie. So I bought it. But last but not least for my show and tell, we're getting in to the holiday season. We're getting into the season of fun. We're getting into the season of Christmas, whatever you celebrate, Boxing Day, whatever it is you celebrate. But here in this home, we celebrate Christmas. So how can you celebrate Christmas without this guy?
You can't.
You got to
Can't
know
help
who
it.
this guy is. So Jess found this at the store for me, and I just wanted to show you guys real quick. He's a pull string, like the old school pull string.
Oh, that's awesome.
Isn't that cool?
The Griswold family Christmas tree.
He's got so many good slogans. I mean, it's great. Absolutely love it. Very cool. So if anybody's interested, let me know. I'll tell you where she found it and all the information on it. But it's kind of like Elf on the Shelf. But you could easily put this. I've got some doll stands. Put around the waistband of the doll stand, make them stand up. And I have a feeling through our live shows next few weeks, we're gonna end up seeing this guy kind of hanging out on the table, and you might get the old. That's so cool, right?
Squirrel.
Squirrel.
That's all I got for tonight.
Wait, you have one more show and tell.
I do?
Yes, the legendary beard.
Oh yeah, the beard. Yeah.
Hold on, let's look at it again.
The beard's coming along nicely. About time.
Legendary. Did we miss anybody?
Nope.
Nope.
Because I need help, people, because I can't keep track of everything. But yeah, guys, hell of a show. I enjoyed it so much tonight. I always enjoy reminiscing of what wrestling and what means to our memories and our family. We're not only collectors, but we love the hobby and we love the sports entertainment of it. So we have a lot of memories of growing up and also of all of these matches. So it was great to reach out. So we're going to cut it off from there. And Will, you want to take us home?
Yeah, just a couple of things. Somebody's got their TV going. I can hear it in the background. Couple things. JSA was finally completed today. You guys know we had all the storms and we had, a couple of the guys there that were affected. So it took us a lot longer than normal to get JSA completed. But everything's finished today. Really super excited about that. Literally, as soon as I get off here, I get to go to work and separate all that stuff out and send everybody all the information. I have not sent totals out from last night.